Hello friends, so let's talk about how we can do our own drawing with scissors. So here we have just a piece of white paper that you guys will have too, and you have a few options. You can start covering your paper with your different cutout shapes, or you may want to make a background first by gluing down some of these big rectangle shapes. So if you want to cover your paper first so your background is all colors, you could do that, okay? You don't have to though. So let's just look at some ways that you might do some shapes, okay? So you're gonna have a lot of different squares and rectangles to start with, but remember, you can easily turn them into triangles by cutting corner to corner, right? I could make an even smaller triangle. And then I could also have ovals or circles if I wanted. Like I could take this purple rectangle, and if I just curve and cut the corners off, I'm curving it and I'm turning it too. But I'm just kind of cutting those corners off. And it might not be perfect, but I have mostly a roundish kind of shape. Now with Matisse, he liked to repeat things a lot too. And that's an important, what we call principle of design, is repeating things. So make sure you save all your scraps when you're cutting things, because you may want to reuse those, okay? So let's see, another thing I wanted to show you guys was how to make a spiral shape, okay? So you do have to, well, you don't have to, but you may want to start with a circle, because all you have to do is cut, and you're just going around and around and around and around. I might stop there. Now I could just do that, but in order to see my spiral better, I actually have to cut it again right in the spiral shape that I made, okay? So I have a spiral because I started with my circle and I cut around and around, but now if I hold my spiral at the end and really carefully cut in the spiral, I have to go kind of slow, and it can be a little bit tricky, but if I cut inside my spiral and I take my time and I go around and around, kind of like riding my bike down the road and trying to not go off the road. And go all the way, all the way, all the way, right to where I finished cutting before. I actually will end up with two spirals. They're a little hooked together, so I gotta gently get them apart. Whoa. But look, you guys, now I have two spirals, right? And I can overlap some of my shapes if I want to, right? And then the last thing I want to show you guys is some of those sort of leafy looking shapes that Matisse really liked. We also will call those an organic shape, where he kind of did this thing in and out. And I'm just going to make kind of a more little more simple shape with not so many kind of parts on it like a leaf, okay? Just kind of a weird little shape like that. But save the scrap part, okay? Because you can use that too, okay? The part that's left over like this, that's called the negative space. This one is the positive space. This is the object that I actually wanted. And then the leftover part, negative space. So so many things you can do, and then you can repeat these, use these little pieces, okay? But you're going to be gluing those down, and you can make up whatever design you want.